What's up? It's you guys, Sky, back at it with Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Kendra's here again, and let's just hop right into it.
April 20th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. She's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
Well, that's the thing. She's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession? Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poorer loser.
Ew.
L plus ratio. Not. Hell yeah! Name's Olga Orley. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orley. Oh, really?
So the mask has slipped.
Wanna know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really.
We gathered.
That's the truth. Hope you're satisfied. That's why I couldn't do a Russian accent. It's just vaguely European.
Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night.
Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see? Let me remind you that you're currently under oath.
Yeah, everyone is. Do you think they give a shit? No, they never do.
You're not supposed to lie. Nothing's gonna happen if you do, but like, you're not supposed to. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences. Wink, wink. We won't do anything. Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. As a waitress.
So you were in cahoots with the victim.
Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call them out and search Wright. Would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut.
You
Swap the cards! Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would have made great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins. 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
It was the plan.
Oh, really, Orley? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. Mistake? I agree, the trap was elegant. Yet, what happened to that planted card?
Good question. Hey, that's right.
He's lucky, I'll give him that.
He's a hobo, and so there was a hole in his pocket, and it fell out, like, upstairs.
Fell out and then he stepped on it and forgot it was there. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers Orley. Oh, really? Witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick. Shut up! Let her be a girl boss!
The judge would be a lot cooler if he showed up.
The judge would be cooler if he stopped commenting on women being cute. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. When you're through being bad, could you perhaps please testify to the court?
I almost thought he was gonna say, when you're through being bad, could you go back to being cute?
I thought so too. That's why I slipped up on my words. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung.
Testimony.
That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him.
Wait. If Wright lost the hand, then why would that warrant a search? Because he lost.
Good
You would only
question.
accuse someone of cheating if they win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna press that when we're in pressing mode.
The planted card was gone. The trap failed.
I told you there was a hole in his pocket.
The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant. Like that she got rid of all of her Russian outfit but kept the little camera. That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
whatever. It's fine. The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect, if that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up.
Look who's talking. For real.
Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice.
Witnesses like her who needs criminals. Guess what? She is a criminal.
Yeah, she committed perjury.
And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? Alright, time to press everything.
Yeah.
Hold it! This splendid card. Which card was it exactly?
Trump card. The 5 of Hearts.
Why is the 5 of Hearts the trump card?
I guess because it's just random. Let me guess, Mr. Wright was to have switched the 5 with the ace to make a full house. At least that's what you were going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend. I slid it into Wright's pocket.
When was this?
Before the match, of course, while he was eating.
Ah, this photo again.
The Borscht Bowl Club, we serve borscht. And suckers. Remind me to never go there. Of course, the card was to make its grand debut during the game. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken.
Yeah, this has me curious. So everything went according to plan?
Exactly. 5th ace came up, so it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. Oh, they were just supposed to accuse him because there were 5 aces.
Yeah.
I guess that still doesn't make sense why he needed to lose that hand, but...
Yeah, it still doesn't make sense to me.
Once the extra card was found in his pocket, it would be forever known as a cheat and a fraud. There are worse things to be known as, I suppose. Like a murderer. I don't know.
Tell us what happened with the search. Hold it! The card disappeared?
Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of Hearts. On, without a trace. Poof, zippo. We searched every nook and cranny. Him? Even inside his cute little hat.
Did you check up his ass? But the card was nowhere to be found, is this correct?
Never in my long, storied career. Never has Quick Fingers Orly been so readily duped. Oh, really? So what did happen to that 5 of hearts? Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant?
So the 5 of Hearts is still MIA.
Hold it!
Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Right, or thoroughly, and found nothing? Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Well,
What was that just now? I sensed something. A nervous
Apollo
habit.
just went to the upside down. Something wrong, Mr. Justice?
Nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little bit harder? Oh, fuck yeah.
Always.
Miss Orly, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about? You?
Damn, I'm really not even trying to hide it anymore.
Me? Quick Fingers Orly? Hiding something?
Defense will refrain from baseless accusations. Oh, it's not baseless. I have one
I
question
assure
for the
you,
witness,
it's
then.
quite based.
I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it, honest.
I see that stuttering. I saw that little hair thing.
I saw it when... I saw it with my own eyes.
There we go. What's this weird vibe I'm getting? That witness, for instance, Miss Orly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it?
How suspicious.
That's not
Big
technically her
Orly.
neck, but...
Yes, same diff.
Whoa, what's going on? This sensation, it's coming into focus. There, that twitch, it's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before. Oh, I have to hit R.
Gotcha!
Yeah.
Miss Orly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand.
My neck? So what? What indeed, Justice?
It's called a nervous habit. People tend to do nervous habits when they're lying because they're nervous about lying. Come on, Kristoff.
I've never heard of a habit in my life. I hadn't noticed anything of the sort.
Damn.
Gaslighting.
When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it. A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us?
Wait. Did Mr. Smith attack Orly because the plan didn't go accordingly? And then Phoenix was like, don't hit the dealer, you bitch. How dare you strike her? Like, maybe. Like, don't fucking hit a woman like that. Don't hit anyone like that, but how dare you hit a woman like that, you know? Her habit
Perhaps.
is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her of the moment of the crime? Miss Orly, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an inerasable impression on your neck is this. The weapon, you say? The weapon, I think.
Weapon.
The weapon, Which one of these is
the
the
weapon.
weapon?
Huh.
Maybe this phone.
She must have been hit in the back of the neck with a phone.
Yes, of course. That would be some form of, blunt damage. Anyway.
Got it! It's my attorney's badge!
Oh, yes, of course. I didn't see it sooner.
Take that!
Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? Good. But something doesn't fit. If you're the only one to witness the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? What's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who hit, not you. This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits? They're completely irrelevant.
Justice, I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination.
I'll explain later, just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. Miss Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment.
Yet, I am knowing nothing. I've had the time to put on my entire uniform again.
We know you're not Russian.
The witness will testify, please. Now. Nah, fine. He did it! I know he did!
I'm gonna press it.
Hold it!
You seem uneasy.
Try standing up here.
Your eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like?
Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime.
Must have been? That sounds
Must
very...
have been.
What's the word for it? That sounds like you assumed that.
He sat in a daze at that table until the cops came.
Oh, there it is.
Intriguing. I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this witness.
And all I need to.
So what do you think about her testimony, huh?
Add it to the court record, please. Testimony is flawed. Her testimony is basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. What's that?
Well... Show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony.
She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. Yeah, I've been waiting to use this one.
Take that!
I'm confident.
Yeah.
Miss Orley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. So, explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely.
Love that the lobster just rained from the sky.
Yeah.
The man who picked up a bottle and swung it at that night wasn't the defendant. You dirty cheat! Check his pockets now! It's gone! The card's gone! I don't know who's saying you lose. Ah! Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to Wright.
Again, though. Why were they trying to, like, make a case of Phoenix cheating with the instance that he lost? I still don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
He hit me.
Some master
Master
cheating
cheater,
you
you
turned
heard
out to be. Fucking called it.
Eek. Now he's dead. When I came to, victim was already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. It came out that I was in league with Smith. I'd be a suspect for sure.
Well, now you're a suspect anyway, so what? Look at the
Yeah.
good that did ya.
Hmm. Well, where does this leave us?
Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this.
It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I cannot blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events?
Mr. Gavin? Sir?
I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a big fat liar. What? The three were in that room the night of the murder. The defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive.
Also, the way they've drawn Kristoff, he looks like he's fucking lizard eyes or some shit.
A little bit, yeah.
Which makes me trust him even less than I already did. A motive?
Her plot foiled, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And I don't know what that word is. Denouement?
Denouement?
Something meant of that argument was murder. What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me.
The mysterious fourth person Phoenix teased?
Yeah, perhaps.
What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. Damn,
Bars!
when did you become a fucking poet?
Dude, he's got a rap career lined up.
For real. So tangled, we kept ourselves in the process.
Mr. Right! Bars!
Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Kristoff Gavin.
What are you saying?
Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before the recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know two colors of cards were being used. A fourth person. Ha! This theory again. Your fourth person doesn't exist. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. What
Aside
the
from all
fuck
the
do you
people who
mean?
lie all the time.
Literally. The perfect place to catch the real criminal.
The real criminal? What?
And we're in luck. A clue to the criminal's real identity was kindly provided for us. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less. Oh. Oh. I did. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were, like, getting into this soon. Like,
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't realize it was out the gate.
Yeah, it's very early on.
Damn. Like, they tease all this history between them and get right to this before even giving us the history.
Yeah.
Interesting way to play it, but I'm here for it. Apollo glancing to his right. Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about? Sorry. I'm gonna smack this kid on the back of the head. Get your shit together, come on. We have mentioned it multiple times.
It's okay. He's a good boy. He's trying his best.
I guess. This is his first trial after all.
Yeah.
Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped out the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Right. But how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there's one person here, in our court, who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too. But why? Look to your right.
Apollo,
Not
buddy,
Phoenix
come
right.
on.
Like, turn your head 90 degrees to the right. Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was? It's not me, I swear.
Why, yes, Winston Payne killed a guy. Who is this fourth person?
Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? Damn, we don't even have to scroll through. It cues them up
Yeah.
for us. It cues them up for us.
They're like, in case you forgot, here he is.
In case you forgot, A, we have profiles. B, this guy.
Remember when he said that dumb poetry stuff?
Yeah.
So do we.
Take that!
Take that, bitch! As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right. Have more faith in yourself, Apollo. More
Apollo,
importantly,
buddy,
have
come
more
on,
faith
you
in
got
me.
this.
Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or the table. Also, all the ones on the table were face up.
Yeah.
But look! You can see the colors in this photo. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light.
It was true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor. Honor.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cars, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come.
Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin! Is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just so sudden.
I saw that stutter. You bitch!
Right. You aren't seriously accusing me, are you?
Now it makes sense why he was hiding so much. You have to pretend that you haven't caught on to...
This game is smart. It
Yeah.
sets up things so well.
Well, Phoenix is smart. This game really...
The logic part of the game is not the best, but you
Yeah.
know, like as far as plot goes, it's
Yeah.
pretty smart.
Oh, Christoph? You know, even I'd never take a joke this far.
Cross-examined a parent, man. I don't believe that.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder? No, his defense attorney is Apollo Justice.
Yeah.
I assure you, I'm quite sane. But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim? I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met. Well, what if they have? Huh? There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying so silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court.
The defense would like to request no such thing.
Ooh.
Boy guns a little
Intense.
spooky. Ooh.
For the love of fuck, the way, like, his braid is fashioned.
It's so
really-
dumb.
Not only is it dumb, but it really looks like you could just, like, somehow pull it right off and have, like, a drill.
Literally, it looks like you could just yank it off, like, really
Real.
easily. Like, you could pull it off and it would make, like, a little, like, pop sound.
Yeah. Mr. Gavin?
Testimonies must relate to the case.
I think this fucking relates to the case, Mr. Gavin.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. I say no, sir. How could anything happening before that game of poker be related?
Well, let's see. There was a planted card that mysteriously disappeared. It wouldn't happen to be on your person, would it?
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley... Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He's the defense, not you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
Oh, okay. Gulp.
Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
Obviously. No shit.
Yeah, for sure.
This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to-
You would betray me, your teacher?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Damn right it is. Get fucked.
Yeah! Very well, the defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please.
Appetite before murder.
Oh.
That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Mr. Gavin? You were at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the murder?
I dine with him rather frequently. And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I had to become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him.
You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright?
Of course he was. It's Phoenix fucking Wright, you bitch!
Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial.
And get you convicted for the crime you did.
Hee hee.
The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. Fuck yeah!
Yeah! I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice.
Sir!
He's lying, and you're going to expose him.
Whatever.
Justice, you're going to cross-examine this guy, or you are grounded, young man.
Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
The frizz? No way!
Alright. Pressed everything.
Yeah.
You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl Club quite often. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual. usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
But now you're sitting, like, at the piano directly. So who asked you to play a song? Because otherwise
Mr.
you would
Smith.
just have been at the table.
It was like, I need you to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, then I want to play poker with you. But first, Mary Had a Little Lamb.
So, the plates and such on the table were from your dinner? Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Kristoff. We dined for 2 hours, then Kristoff left. After that... 1 second. Just need to know my timeline. Time of death was around 2 a.m.
Damn.
I don't know how long they were playing poker for.
I mean,
We'll keep
an
that in mind
average
for later.
time to eat dinner is like 6 to 8, I would say.
Yeah.
So, that would have been pretty long, like at least 6-hour long game,
Yeah.
at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it!
5 minutes? So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time. That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure. Oh, Mr. Wright. What was it you said? Kristoff Gavin and Shady Smith may have met? I believe I did say that. Here I was, all nervous about this meeting. And now we hear they just passed in the hall?
Does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that were all that really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time?
Hold it!
About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Orley mentioned?
Plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand. And then deal 5 aces during one of their games. Their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. Right. Would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut.
You swapped the cards.
Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Yes, a harmless prank, in essence. It was by a quirk of fate I happened to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
Kristoff's pocket, maybe? Oh. Well, there we go. There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon? Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. Sounds like terrific drama.
Tell me about it. A card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. It'll be hard to get out because the neck is so thin.
Yeah. Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits.
He's really sticking to that.
Huh.
But
He
anyway,
is the poker head.
honest to God, if you just shook the bottle around, you could hear the card.
Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle.
Hold it!
Why in the bottle? I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew it was coming.
Oh, so you struck first. I like that.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't.
I will say there was a piece of dialogue where Apollo was like, maybe I should look at the bottle. Which I
Right,
don't
bottle.
remember
Thank you.
what you have to with, but I know that was something.
Well, we added dialogue, and usually if you add dialogue, you have to use it. So this one, this, bottle, examine? Alright, this is our...
Sick grape juice.
Oh, we can see through it just fine, and there's not shit in here.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? I've examined the bottle, and I don't see any card in here. No?
What, Mr. Wright? Surely ellipses isn't all you have to say for yourself.
I can't say that I know what happens with the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh?
Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out. Oh, and a sixth person could have helped.
We already made that joke, bitch. Get out
Yeah,
of here.
he stole our joke.
Yeah, get some original content, bitch.
SMH.
Did this bitch, like, sneak back and take it out? Whatever. We'll find
Mr.
out.
Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. You're supposed to be friends.
But you see, my client is now accusing me, so we're not so friendly presently.
He, like, takes out his friendship bracelet and, like, slams it on the desk, like, we're not friends anymore.
Real.
My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear in orange?
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Fuck you. Oh,
Push him harder, Justice. Break him.
damn.
Kill him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Knock his teeth out. Hit him with a baseball bat. Get the chair.
Use the bottle. Make it the murder weapon for a second murder.
Get one of those ladders that they use in ladder matches and hit him with the ladder.
Actually, get specifically a stepladder.
God damn it, the stepladder joke. No. Is there a picture of him wearing a hat?
Let's see. Victim. This is the only one with him in the hat, and then there's no other photos of him.
Well, in the one where he's dead, like the first one where he's dead, he's wearing a hat.
Oh, this guy.
Is he wearing a hat initially, or did they put the hat on him to take the picture?
Oh, this guy was wearing a hat initially. Yeah. He had this hat walking in. He had the hat when he was dead. The close-up photo, the hat is gone, but I thought that was maybe just like to show the wound better?
So if he was wearing the hat, how did Phoenix see the thing?
Good point. Thank you kindly.
No problemo. I just solved it in real time because I forgot it.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see the blood on his forehead. Good point.
Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it.
He's doing the face again.
I love it.
He looks so punchable.
Yeah. Mr. Wright, could you explain this to the court?
Oh, I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head.
Phoenix!
Huh? You.
Put the hat on the dead man's head?
He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view, shining bright, just like in this photograph.
And...
I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head. Well, why would you do a thing like that? All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. So, Miss Orley didn't see it? It being the victim's, or his head? I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head.
Huh, here we go again.
Right. Mr. Gavin?
Pardon. Just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
You are not on his side anymore. We get it. We get it. The girls are fighting.
Gavin, you're looking a little evil today.
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? He's your client.
I believe. I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin?
This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
Those are some words you're throwing around, Kristoff. Those are some fucking words you're throwing around.
This is he's just trying to start a fight in the middle of the courtroom.
Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew.
I believe it was you who threw the first stone.
Both of you, shut up! Mr. Wright.
Mom and Dad are fighting again.
Real. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. Huh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well.
Reason?
That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. Good on you, Phoenix! Good on you! Let's go!
Way to go, Phoenix! That's my man! That's Nick! Let's go!
Real. Friendly reminder, folks. As long as you are an active participant in a conversation, you are allowed to record it. Although some states, every party needs to consent to the recording. So check your state laws, but do record important conversations such as this.
What's this? I was under the impression we lived in a state where both parties need to consent.
Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble.
What's this? Game not going well?
Something like that.
That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good?
He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard.
You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? Pate? What is that?
I don't know. I don't care. That is him referring to the man being bald.
Oh, that makes sense. It wasn't you, was it?
Me? Please. The cops could be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Oh, it was a typo.
Oh! Oh, Ace Attorney, you never let us down.
Bone china plate. A kind of porcelain. Very smooth and shiny.
Oh,
and
no, it is Pate.
Oh, not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead.
Court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead.
Wait a second. Something's not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club? Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate? Or pate? Whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. I gotta say, Kristoff also has a very good poker face.
He does, yeah.
He's been holding it this whole time.
One really nice thing that I appreciate about the like sprites in this game is how, like, at the beginning of this trial, when Kristoff does that little smile towards Apollo, it's like, oh, he's just being polite. But then the second Phoenix is like, huh, don't you know something about this, Kristoff? Once he starts smiling, it feels so sinister, and I just love that as a detail.
Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court? Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head?
So, this is your reason. Reason why you put the victim's hat back on.
Your point, Mr. Gavin?
Come down to this, has it, Phoenix Wright? Order! I will have order! Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony?
Well, as the prosecutor, I...
Too late! We're doing it anyways! We'll break for 10 minutes. After which, Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Still clear, Your Honor. Very well. This will be the final recess for the day.
April 20th, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this? Voice.
May I? I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. Trucy!
It's her!
Trucy! Wait, which one of us wants to take Trucy?
I think for the sake of Trucy becoming like the partner character, it might be convenient if I take her, just so that for the rest of the game it's not you talking to yourself.
Alright, go ahead. Huh? What?
Hello, sir. Please, pick a card.
What's all this about? Is this one okay? Is it the fucking 5 of Hearts?
Excellent. I have a message for you. Last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it.
A trump card?
The card you have chosen is magical.
It's the fucking 5 of Hearts.
Use it wisely and the game is yours. That's all.
What an... Oh. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? Damn, it's not like we spent at least half an hour talking about the ace of spades.
Mr. Smith's hand was 3 aces and Mr. Wright's was 2. It is 5 aces in all. It's true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. It was cheating, I swear to you.
The missing 5th ace. Wait, this splotch of red, is this blood? Gasp.
Have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. Father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it.
What an interesting way to introduce Trucy.
Yeah, she's very mysterious, very magical.
Yeah. And also, the picture in the locket is still like her in the red outfit.
Yeah, it's when she was baby.
Yeah, I know. This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? Damn, I fucking wonder. Come on, Apollo, have some sense of object permanence, please. That's when I made the connection. Bloody Ace added to the court record. That sounds like a cool album name or some shit.
Yeah, Bloody Ace is the name of the band that I'm going to make.
Hell yeah. Oh, Gavin's not by your side anymore. The room feels so empty. April 20th, 2:45 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Will Mr. the witness state his name and occupation?
Is this farce necessary, Your Honor?
Christoph, how many fucking court trials have you done? Of course it's fucking necessary. All these fucking...
Just checking. I don't feel like it. I don't want to say my name. You all know me.
These fucking haughty-ass bitches thinking they're above the law.
Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom.
It's true.
Need I remind you, the parrot? Fine, I'll play along. First, there's one thing we need to have made clear.
Name and occupation.
How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it.
Objection!
Baldy. Oh.
He's by your side now.
Phoenix, are you allowed to be there right now?
I don't think he is, but do you think he cares? Never.
It's fine. He lives in the courtroom. Who cares? He can do what he wants.
I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Wright!
What do you think you're doing, right?
Well, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never once taking it off, except for that one time. That one time being the instant he was hit.
Oh.
When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to have been there in the hideout at the time of the crime. In other words,
I must be the real killer. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, you fucking bitch.
That sprite is so good. It's one of my favorites.
Not bad, Apollo.
Mr. Gavin? I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
I did meet him earlier, I swear.
I lied a little bit, but it's okay.
Because I wasn't the one on the stand.
When you're a defense attorney, it's okay to lie.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Exclamation point.
But I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night. Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night? That fateful night. The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. Went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. Must have been right after the murder took place. Victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. Bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright.
Sorry, I'm opening my fruit snacks, which I found were like kind of already open, which is a little bit concerning. But they were in a box that was sealed, so it's okay. Probably.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
They're a little bit stale, though. So, you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team? Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client.
We're after the truth, aren't we?
What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand, after all. And perjury's a crime.
Wink, wink. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh.
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant.
Haha.
It's probably hard for you, what with your background, but like, come on, man. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
Hold it!
The little window. You mean the one used to keep watch up the stairs?
Yes, a relic of the ancient past. The Black Marketeers used it, I believe.
Did we not say earlier that that window was only good for keeping watch outside and little else?
I think so.
I think that's our key, which means like the only way he would have been near the window is if he was and like able to see through it well enough was if he was like inside. That might be the thing we have to get to. Why did you go through the trouble of peeking in through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room?
I didn't want to upset Wright, you see.
Upset Mr. Wright?
Yes. What if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least.
Hold it!
Those were the only three at the scene of the crime?
Yes, as far as I saw, at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police?
For reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend.
That fake ass smile. I'm gonna fucking that smile right off of him. There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime.
Justice, I just said I saw no one. Not a soul.
Uh-huh. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said.
Ah, yes, this mysterious fourth person.
We're still trying to dodge around this? Come on, Kristoff.
It super wasn't me. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose.
Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin.
Let me pose a question, then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap the cards in the victim's hand?
Ah, shit.
Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary.
How can I show something I can't find myself? Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace. Oh, thank you!
Thanks, Phoenix!
The 5th ace, right.
Well, Mr. Justice? Question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason?
I would like to submit new evidence to the court.
Yes!
It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out.
Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace?
Thanks, Trucy. Love you, Trucy.
Take that!
Trucy, best friend, love you.
My reason is, this. Is that an ace?
Why, it's got blood on it. Gross.
At least he didn't think it was ketchup.
Yeah. Right next to the spade. What? What? His little twitchy face, I love him.
The mask's starting to slip, isn't it, dear Kristoff?
Not so posh now, are ya? Not so cool and collected.
Get absolutely fucked. This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be... Could this be the missing 5th ace? Inconceivable! How could you... What are you doing with this card?
Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? Put it together, Apollo!
It's almost like he tried to make it so no one would have that card or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's damning evidence for him.
Yeah. It's almost like he is in fact the killer, Apollo. Come on.
How suspicious.
It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl.
Call her fishy.
Blub blub. Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bull Club that night after the murder had been committed. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock in trade, after all.
Objection!
No! Impossible! Unacceptable! The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
Interesting words for you to be throwing around, Kristoff. A fraud? How can you be so sure?
What?
I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene, the real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
Especially since you're insisting that you took it. Take another look at this photo. At the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell onto the floor. Oh. And a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. The killer then took the card to hide the blood.
Objection!
Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible.
If it's relevant to the case, it is permissible, and I think it's very relevant.
Right? Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence, then how come the prosecution does it all the fucking time?
Literally. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question.
What are you talking about?
You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence.
Objection!
This is baseless conjecture. Baseless.
Apollo's just sort of like sitting here, twiddling his thumbs, watching his parents fight. Cause like, yeah, Phoenix is like totally taken over, making his own defense. There he is.
He's pointing!
I assure you, it's quite based. Phoenix for real.
Real Phoenix hours. What?
It's amazing, really.
It's cute,
How
it looks like
single
he's
drop of
holding the
blood
card.
on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes? Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head. Ooh, we're going 3D.
3D diagram!
Like I said before, the window was only good to watch guard, not to like look into the room. Cause it has a perfect view of the stairs, it has a horrible view of the room.
Yeah.
Like I fucking said! I'm on top of this game.
Real.
The murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood in the victim's hand. Given this, there is one decisive problem with the scene.
Well, what is it?
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses? Whose position doesn't fit?
Take that!
Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem? The music's not stopping, I'm scared.
I don't follow your logic here. Uh-oh. Did I lead you astray?
You might have. Well,
Oh, we're fine.
okay. Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You'd think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him. Thank fuck it was that.
Oh.
Take a look at the photo again. If you bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards.
Why, that's right. So, what does this mean?
Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs. Is it swivel chairs? Oh man. Apollo, try turning the chair around.
How do you turn the chair
How
around?
do you turn the chair around? Do I have to...
Guess you just hit space on the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, space.
Chair was facing the other way!
It would have to be. Unless the body was moved. But I doubt it.
Killer jumped out of the cupboard!
So we have to assume that the victim's chair was facing away from the table.
When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around.
Ellipses.
Let's take the next step. Look at this diagram once more. We know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again? That was not his voice, whatever.
That was like a nice young, like, southern mother who just spent like a long day baking pies.
Yeah. I was trying to like go back into the nasally voice, but I went high without going nasally. Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Whose location creates a contradiction if the victim was facing away?
The hint I will give you is, technically their names are not relevant. It's just, like, the role. It doesn't
Oh.
like it's not saying like, oh, Phoenix was here, Orla's here, Kristoff is over there. It's just saying the killer, the witness, the other witness, you know?
Right. Okay. Risk it for the biscuit. The music stopped. That's a good sign.
Yeah!
The victim was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is? I would think it'd be quite hard, yes. Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game? I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light. Maybe Kristoff outside the window making some noise or some shit. What? There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. For a third time. Paula, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram. One second.
Apollo's reaction is also my reaction every time they make us do something with the diagram.
What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? Alright, Phoenix, I'm trusting you, like a whole lot, in this fucking closet thing.
Take that!
The killer had to be standing, well, here! You get points for flair, but that's about all you get. Ugh. You motherfucker. I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim was facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming that the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above, huh? It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know! At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there.
What's this now?
I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin?
Whoopsies.
Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard.
Your Honor,
What?
there's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright. You
No
little
fucking
scamp,
shit.
you.
I do my best. That's Phoenix fucking right for ya!
That's my boy!
But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again! This fucking diagram, how many times are we gonna circle back to it? Diagrams make me so
Lot.
nervous. It's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Space. No one can see through that damn window. I knew that window was coming into play. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here. Now, everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my. What's this? Phoenix is so
Love
smug,
Phoenix.
and he deserves to be.
He's just having fun.
For real.
What is it now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Huh? Oh, dang! Apollo is the kind of guy who would say, oh, dang.
He is.
Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime?
I think it might be the witness.
I've got it! It's the victim! He actually wasn't there!
Finally we can hit Kristoff.
Take that!
Was that centered enough for you? About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs.
Oh!
That's right, someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin.
What? What did you say?
You sealed your fate now.
Looks like I misspoke.
Oh, is the coolest defense attorney in the West losing his cool?
Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right?
It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was. While the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor.
Order! This is a court of law and I will have order.
We just now received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Hole Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh? And what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, it turns out there is a secret passage behind it.
What?
Yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. Did you? This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it. A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses would get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. Teehee. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. Well, you better start believing it, 'cause there's no going back. That girl wasn't killing when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin? Come on, say something.
Dare I ask what really happened that night?
Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard. holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Why'd you do that? Wait here, I'll get help. Miss Olga Orley was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith.
I like that Phoenix's reaction to a woman being assaulted was, why did you do that?
Why would you do that? That's kind
What's
of
that
not
for?
cool of you. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look, and after the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized that the need to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red.
Ugh. Little hair sweep, that's cute. Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn.
Sorry, let me get more snacks open.
Period. I'm truly, truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Payne!
Yeah! Yes, Your Honor.
Prosecution will continue its investigation. From Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion.
Ah!
Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest. Immediately.
Objection!
Is he gonna say I don't have a motive?
Nuh-uh. Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand.
Bullshit. Those are some bold words you're throwing around.
Those are some fighting words, Gavin.
Your point, Mr. Gavin?
Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked. A person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor.
He's an old man. Cut him a little slack.
Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is used illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney. Illegal evidence?
Do we have to do our, like, hypersensitive tail spotting to see his fucking mouth twitching? It's been twitching a hell of a lot. Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin, is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Why, yes, your daughter. Plot reveal. Dun-dun-dun.
Of course. This bottle, for instance.
Oh yeah, we haven't found the Five of Hearts yet. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking.
How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprints, am I right, Mr. Payne?
They were upside down. Actually, yes, the fingerprints on the bottle were, upside down. I seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court and this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor?
I don't know, maybe if you wanted to, like, throw it at a car or something? You'd throw it
Yeah.
and hold on to the handle.
Maybe he wanted to drink it really funny.
Ah. See how the caught fish swarms to the last? Well, Apollo. Yes? Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that. Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to gulp? Perhaps to gulp.
Yeah.
Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight. How about you just say the answer in plain words? Exactly. For the love of fuck. They make you do so much searching when, like...
Real. It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions, indeed. Well, Mr. Justice?
Mr. Gavin said that the court in this case demanded an explanation. 1 second. We're gearing up for one of those moments.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Justice won't leave until justice is done.
Hell yeah, that's my boy. Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court? What evidence do you have to explain my fingerprints on the bottle are upside down?
Can I go for the attorney's badge?
Yeah!
Oh! Wait, no, spin
Ooh.
this so I can read it.
Lawyers Association?
I guess. Tell me about it. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it.
Take that!
Fuck yeah! It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair.
Excuse me? On the floor?
Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. Ah! See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor, to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow, I can't believe it was that simple.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Ace Attorney. Recall our dinner that evening, Kristoff. I was drinking my usual juice then, too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed, but then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up some of the bottles from under the piano. And he switched the bottles, or he wore gloves, because that won't leave fingerprints. Why does no one think of gloves? You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon.
Order, order, order. What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection.
Shut the fuck up already, Kristoff. What?
You claim that I switched the bottle? Where is your proof?
Proof? Well, that's, where's the other bottle?
As I thought. More baseless conjecture.
Actually, I'll have you know it's quite based.
I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
That's why there was no
That's why.
card in it. Motherfucker. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I questioned an additional investigation on the fucking great bottles? Phoenix, you're so
Oh,
smart.
yes. I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question.
I mean, there's multiple bottles to search through, but like just for plot convenience, that's gonna be the bottle that has the card.
Yeah. What, are you going to dust that for fingerprints, too?
We could just shake it around and hear the card inside, Kristoff, like a little baby rattle.
Little
if you wanna do
rattle.
that.
I would be surprised if any were on that, but his...
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? Shake it around like a little baby rattle.
Yeah. Maybe get a new toy.
Just humor me. Mr. Wright, you could just tell me upright what's going on in your head, for fuck's sake. That bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle. I can even see it from here. Well, well, well.
What have we here?
There's something inside the bottle. Again, you could just shake it around like a baby rattle. That would work. Yeah. What's this?
That card. It can't be.
Oh, but it can be. And it is! Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. Miss Olga Orly? Yes, our little swindling...
Devachka.
The what?
Devachka?
Devachka?
I took Russian for a little bit on Duolingo.
Oh.
Devachka just means girl.
I see.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
I forgot who she was. That night, I played with the card like I was supposed to. Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched them.
I still don't understand that. Why are you trying to
Yeah.
make a cheating accusation on someone losing?
Oh no. The planted card was gone. The trap failed.
Wait, this isn't... Are you telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the Five of Hearts. Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. The Five of Hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped. And the only one who could have done that was the fourth person in the club that night. You, Mr. Kristoff Gavin.
An earthquake is occurring.
The fucking borscht. The mask has fallen, hasn't it, Kristoff?
And so has his fist.
So is the borscht. That is all.
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge? Whatever do you mean? We're besties.
That's eyelashes at him. Revenge?
Blink, blink, blinkety, blink, blink.
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
What? What would you possibly have to do with that, Christoph Gavin?
Oh my gosh, Krista, what are you implying?
My past is like my logic. Straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction.
I'm normal now.
Hmm.
Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right?
This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? No. Sorry.
I believe this time we've finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report up for us on Christoph Gavin?
He admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. Didn't even have a connection to the victim. Do you?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith.
This won't be the last we hear of him.
His occupation was listed as traveler. That's not a job. An odd profession to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
For now. I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright?
Yes?
7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch.
Damn right!
Real. It never loses.
Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
He was also a bitch.
For real.
I needed two things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright, our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Well, this seems like a good place to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright,
No.
not
Guilty!
guilty. Yay, confetti!
Let's go! Sorry, Payne. Another loss under your belt.
Court is adjourned.
Fuck yeah!
Ah.
April 20th, 4:28 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes, a sensitivity I lack. The fuck do you mean? You had a whole conversation about how you use this ability in poker. I mean, I get what they're trying to say from a fourth wall point of view, but canonically, this is a weird conversation to have.
Apollo, only you get tunnel vision where you can see, like, really up close. I see them at regular distance. I just have to guess.
I do, however, have a Magatama that lets me see Cyclops.
It's true. I forgot he had that.
Yeah. Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? True?
Of course it's true. True.
What is this weird vibe I'm getting? What was that, Mr. Wright? You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer, right. No, you have to find the question yourself. Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have had to commit the murder? Perhaps you'll learn in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Yes, my daughter, as I mentioned. Keep up.
Probably came to make sure her dad wasn't gonna go to jail, bro.
Yeah. Your daughter, right? That's right, she's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. Huh? I took this off his neck the night he died. But it's okay, because theft isn't a crime in this world.
Yeah. So it's a locket of his daughter, so it's fine.
Yeah. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him. Wait, but that's perjury! You testified. You said that locket was yours. I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. Phoenix, you fucking smooth piece of shit.
You smooth criminal, you.
Yeah. And it's the truth. Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with the picture of your daughter inside it? Well, you'll find out one day, Apollo. Sometimes the strangest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices, after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo. Yes? How about coming to work for me? Huh? You mean at the Wright & Co. Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. I can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. I'm gonna sit here and figure it out before it makes us present it, because goddammit, if I get this wrong, I'm gonna cry. Anyway, based on the wording you're throwing at me, I think you want it to be the bloody ace. Because, like,
Perhaps.
there was no feasible way for Trucy to have that card. I want to say that's it.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything.
I know. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I'll bet this was the forged evidence. Please don't be wrong. Please don't be wrong. Please don't be wrong. Please don't be wrong. Please, please, please.
Take that!
Take that!
You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place, luckily for us.
The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. Fraud.
A fraud? How can you be so sure? Sure. I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then you really... Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney.
He's not.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo? So, it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? Never meet your heroes, Apollo. Never meet your heroes. I punched him?
Apollo stands on business.
It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you'd like. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut? Try yelling, "Take that," next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. This was all a game to him. This was all a game to him.
He's just silly like that.
And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. That is a really sweet way to start off the game when you're handing it off to a new main character too. What a way to do it. To have your first trial be defending the previous main character like that?
Yeah, I really like it. The only like downside about this first case is how obvious it is that it's Phoenix Wright, because like I know part of it is just like the promotion for the game was like, hey, check out this guy. He's really important. Do you guys recognize him? But I feel like it would have been really cool if it was like more clear at the beginning, like this guy's not Phoenix, and then it's revealed that he is. But like I really like the first case in this game. I feel like it's really solid in comparison to a lot of the other first cases.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then like the whole conversation they have where it's like, this is your story now.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's just being poetic to give him encouragement, but also at the same time, from the other side of the fourth wall, it's like, stop thinking about Phoenix Wright.
At least until Dual Destinies.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and once again, do check out Kendra's channel below. And with that, I will see you later, whenever later may be.